Good morning, my dear pupils. How are you today? Welcome to history class. We go ahead with the Unit 7, Renaissance and Reformation. Next. And we continue with the Renaissance art. Today we're going to focus on the next Cinquecento Architecture. Remember, architecture means buildings. So, if we saw that the center of the art in the Quattrocento is the city of Florence, then in the Cinquecento, remember, 16th century, is going to be no more Florence, but Rome. The popes in Rome, in the Vatican City, the popes are going to invite the most important and recognized artist to make Rome and to decorate Rome and to make Rome to be the most important city in Europe. So, we're going to see in this unit the Vatican, the Papal Basilica of St. Peter. We're going to see how Bramante, Michelangelo, Leonardo are going to work in the design of the most important or one of the most important buildings for the Christianity, the place where the popes live in the Vatican, the St. Peter Cathedral. Yes, then later we're going to go ahead and to see, from my point of view, one of the most beautiful architectures or buildings in the Cinquecento movement. Andrea Palladio's Villa Capra. So, next. Here, I guess you can recognize what it is, yes? That's in Rome, in the center of the Christianity, or one of the most important cities for the Christianity, or the most important for the Catholic Church, yes? That's the Vatican. The facade is not actually, it was created later, yes, by Maderno. So you see something strange in the facade, because it was created alla maniera di Maderno. So it means Manierism. Yes, you remember at the end of the Cinquecento we can talk about the artists are creating things in their own way, so in their own particular way. But we can recognize there the columns, the classic columns. When I say classic, I mean ancient Rome and ancient Greek columns. Yes, you see the pediment, the triangular pediment, very small, but still a triangular pediment. And in the right side and in the left side of the monument, symmetry, order, proportion, not so much proportion. That's the mannerism, not so much proportion, yes? But these semicircular arches that make us remember the ancient Roman triumphal arches. Next, here you see this. So, quite classical, inspired in the ancient Greek and Roman ways of creating monuments, and you can distinguish behind the facade the hemispherical dome. This hemispherical dome was a design of Michelangelo Buonarroti. Yes, so Michelangelo Buonarroti was not only a painter and a sculptor and architect, he also composed poetry. He was super good in everything he decided to do. He was called Il Divino Michelangelo, a divinity in the art, yes, in the creation. Okay, then we continue. We see that in the design of the plan, in the design of the cathedral, many artists took part. Next. Okay, here in this slide, we see the columns, we see the triangle pediment, we see the domes, the hemispherical domes, the ancient monuments that inspire the Renaissance artist. You see this very clear, yes? Next. Here we've got the ideas from Bramante, Raphael, Sangallo, il Giovanetto, Sangallo, the junk, we can say, and Michelangelo for their ideas to design the St. Peter Cathedral, the Vatican. So, if we compare the first idea from Bramante, you remember, order, mathematical canon or mathematical order, proportion, symmetry, and the favorite shapes of the Renaissance artist, the square and the circle. Bramante's design is based in a central idea, so a square, no more a rectangle. And if you compare with Raphael in the left and the right side project, Raphael project looks like a Latin cross plan inside a rectangle. So that's a large plan, not a central plan. Yes, you see, it's very similar to the Gothic ideas with a Latin cross plan. But Bramante, that's very new. His proposal is a square, a central plan, and inside you see also in the center a circle. Yes, the transept in this case could be so in the crossing would be covered by a hemispherical dome, a circle in the middle. So the perfect Renaissance shapes, the square and the circle. Everything maintaining the golden ratio, order, proportion, symmetry, regularity, and a central plan. Well, Raffaello Sanzio plan was not taken into account by the Pope. Yes? So you see again, Sangallo, his proposal is like a mixture between Bramante's ideas and Raffaello ideas. So it's something like a mixture of this Latin cross plan and the central plan. He makes an extension in the feet and something like, we name it narthex. And you see also two towers in the feet. Yes? Well, then later, the project that was adopted and the project that finally succeeded was Michelangelo's project. He assumes again Bramante's project, the square, the circle, no towers. Remember the towers like in the Gothic or like in the Romanesque style. No tower here now. So very classic, centralized, but he adds in the feet these lines represent the steps. Yes, and later Maderno added the facade. The facade was not in the Michelangelo's project, so it's something later. Okay, next. You see the dome is designed by our so beloved Michelangelo. Yes? So here you see the hemispherical dome, the half of a sphere, the perfect shape. And here you see it's over, we name it in Spanish, drum, tambor, yes, with windows, and in the upper part of the windows there are also curved pediments and triangular pediments like in the Greek temples, and also the classic columns, but the most important, the hemispherical shape, and again the ancient tradition by using the classic columns. Next. Here you can see inside the design of the dome, the perfect shape, the circle in the middle of the cathedral, in the middle of the Vatican, with these windows giving light inside. Yes, so the size you see here, 42 meters, enormous, tremendous, super large. Next. Here also inside the temple you see the naves, again the semicircular arches, and very obviously you can see the symmetry, the proportion. This time it's not a very human size cathedral, but it's St. Peter Cathedral. You see it's covered by a vault with these squares digged in the vault. You remember the covered vaults that are assumed by the ancient Greek and Roman ways of building. Yes, decorations. Good. Next. Here that's the final design of the Vatican St. Peter Cathedral Church. Yes, you see how the dome, it's not hidden by Maderno's facade. The importance of the dome, the central plans, the square and the circle or the sphere in this case, the favorite shapes for the Renaissance artist we can see here. Next. Well, now we go ahead with Andrea Palladio. Yes, Andrea Palladio was an architect, but also he wrote a lot of books about architecture. Yes, so he was an engineer. We're going to see from him next. Villa Capra, it's also called Villa Rotonda. What is a villa? Villa is a Roman concept, yes. A villa is like a palace, a very luxury house, not in the cities, but in the country, yes. So, for very rich people, of course. So, it's not a urban house, it's a house in a rural context. But you can see the difference, yes. It has nothing to do with the Gothic palace. Yes, it has no fortress idea. Yes. Well, next. And here you see the plan and the section. In the upper part, you see the design of the soil. That's the plan. And again, which shapes can you see there? Which geometrical shapes can you distinguish here? Always the square, and in the center the circle. Of course, the circle means that normally it means that it's going to be covered by a hemispherical dome, as you can see in the section, in the draw of the section. Yes? You remember Leonardo da Vinci's design with the square and the circle, and in the middle, the human being, anthropocentrism, yes? Or their mathematical design. So the concept of beauty is based in the mathematical proportions and the perfect shapes, the square, the circle, or their mathematical proportion. Again, we are talking about the symmetry. If we draw here two axes, we can see the perfect symmetry. Every facade is completely equal to the other. Yes? Well, golden ratio again. Yes? So the square, the circle, order, symmetry, proportion, simplicity. These are the characteristics of the Renaissance architecture. Doesn't matter in the Quattrocento or in the Cinquecento, yes? Here we are in the Cinquecento, in the 16th century. But you see the characteristics are very similar. Next. And here we see the Villa Capra picture. What can you recognize as classic elements? When I say classic, I mean ancient Rome or ancient Greek elements. It looks like an ancient temple, yes, with the stairs, with the columns. You see in the columns in the capital, the scrolls? That's a Ionic style. You see the triangle pediment? Yes. In every facade, we're going to find the same elements, yes? Are looking like a temple, but that's not a temple. That's not a religious building. Yes, that's a private palace, a villa in the country. And in the center, what we see in the center is the hemispherical dome. Next, you see here very easy in the design: symmetry, order, proportion, the square, the circle, the domes, the triangle pediments, the classic elements like the columns. Yes, it looks like as if it were a classic temple in each facade. Symmetry. Next, here you see a complete view of the Villa Rotonda or Villa Capra, that's the same. And also here you see the semicircular arches, yes, quite Roman like the ancient triumphal arches. Next. And here you see Villa Capra was not the only one villa that Palladio created. We can see Villa Piovene, Villa Cricati, many other villas. But you see the columns, the stairs to access to the villa, the classic orders in this case, yes, all of them seem to be Ionic with the scrolls and the capitals, the triangle pediment, and we do not see this, but we can imagine in the center there's a hemispherical dome. So central plans, no more rectangles, no more large plans, but central plans, the square and the circle. Remember the favorite shapes or the most beloved shapes by the Renaissance artist. Next. Here, Bramante. You have heard about Bramante in the design of the Vatican plan. Yes, remember his proposal of a central plan? Well, then we're going to see something else from Bramante. You've got also in your book on page 126 a picture of one of his works. Next, San Pietro in Montorio in Rome. Yes, I see you're reading. Yes, the Catholic monarch, the Spanish Catholic monarch, paid this building, and you see again the stars, the classic columns, the hemispherical dome, all the elements we can see these, and also a central plan. In this case, next, the plan is no more a square, it's a round plan, it's a circle, yes? The favorite shapes for the Renaissance artist, the circle and the square, yes? This temple looks like the temples created in the ancient Rome for the heroes or also to worship Vesta. Yes, but again, the steps to entering the temple, the columns, all the classic elements are represented here. Order, proportion, symmetry. The beauty is based in this mathematical harmony. Yes, and we can see also, maybe you cannot see it, but trust me, it's based in the golden ratio, so proportion, all these things that I'm continually repeating, order, proportion, symmetry, mathematical harmony, the canon, the golden ratio, the based in the human proportions, yes? So these are the characteristics of the Renaissance architecture. Next, so I hope you enjoy this class, and I hope you learn a lot about the architecture in the modern ages. Thanks, and see you or hear you in the next video. Bye bye.